for this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Emmanuel Zelaskumbo. Emmanuel Zelaskumbo. I'm the spokesperson of the Friends of Jobs Sikhala Solidarity Trust. For the record, I'm not ashamed to declare that I'm the brains behind the Solidarity Trust to complement the support of the MDC party against the persecution that was packaged by the authoritarian and unpopular illegitimate regime of Emmerson Mnangagwa. Firstly, I would like to thank People's President Advocate Nelson Chamisa for immense support he gave to our friend Honorable Jobs Sikhala during his trying times. He truly demonstrated that he is the People's President. We would like to further thank MDC family for standing with us throughout this critical period in the history of our country. Friends and relatives cannot be mentioned as it is our obligation to stand with one of us during such times. In our thousands, we complimented the efforts of all Zimbabweans in fighting on the corner of our dear friend Honorable Jobs Sikhala. Our solidarity is purely love for Sikhala. The men and our frowning of injustice, the men and our frowning of injustice and dictatorship. It is motivated by no any other agenda but purely protection of our dear friend from abuse by the state and its enemies. We have managed to build a fortress around our dear friend, of which anyone dares us must be warned in advance that we are prepared to die for him. Why we are prepared to die for him is now public knowledge to our dear Zimbabweans. Our friend has gone through multifaceted abuse by the regime since time immemorial. We think that all along we did not render enough support for him to thwart the evil machinations of this evil regime of Zanu PF against his person. The persecution of our friend went through for years and cannot be allowed to persist unchallenged. Today's press was called for two important developments since Honorable Jobs Sikhala appeared in court for his trial on the 3rd of February 2020. Firstly, the police issued a very sickening press release on Twitter, on his Twitter handle, informing the world that the burglary and theft that took place at the house of presiding judge Honorable Garaine Sumawadzi, who is trying our dear friend's case at High Court in Machine. The police in their press release insinuated that the unlawful entry and theft that happened at Honorable Justice's house had anything to do with his presiding over our dear friend's trial. We did not take that lightly. This is not only scandalous but defamatory in all material aspects, suggesting that a man of implacable standing like Honorable Sikhala may be suggested to be linked with such disgrace is crossing the red line. We took the statement as a declaration of hostility against us, and we've already taken remedial measures by instructing our lawyers to sue the police not for defamation, not only for defamation, but for constitutional damages for the violation of our dear friend's right to dignity. The brand of our friend is unquantifiable, but we have instructed our lawyers to sue the police to the tune of 50 million Zimbabwean dollars, 25 million for defamation and another 25 million for constitutional damages. Quantification was done in consideration of the brand and the public life space of our friend he is occupying in Zimbabwe. He is a freedom fighter, the people's public representative and a legal practitioner of implacable record in Zimbabwe. An attempt to damage his public standing by the police force that has turned into a rogue element against the citizens of Zimbabwe cannot go unchallenged. Secondly, Ezra Chadzamira, a Zanu PF Mandarin in Mashingo, addressed the people in Menez during the council by-election, saying that no matter how number of people who come to support our dear friend Honorable Jobs Sikhala, he will go to prison under whatever circumstances. Firstly, before going into detail, let me hasten to say that Chadzamira is an idiot of no substance and there's no history to be taken as anything by anyone in Zimbabwe. He is just a jester who got a junior appointment by Emmerson Mnangagwa after the coup as a resident minister of machine. He is unknown beyond parameters of his house gate. He seeks attention by attacking our dear friend. We also wonder what knowledge he has over the judgment awaiting our dear friend, Honorable Jobscam. For him to boldly say such statement, it is dangerous for anyone, no matter who you are, to interfere with the judiciary. This undermines the administration of judiciary. This undermines the administration of judiciary in our country. It is unfortunately further confirming Zanu PF's interference with the operations of judiciary. Let this idiot be warned that his utterances are a recipe of serious conflict in the country in the event that it is confirmed that he interfered with the administration of justice in our country. The consequences are hastily to contemplate the event that his utterance came to fruition. I thank you. And I may allow a room to take any questions.
Question.
Yes. Is there any reason why Sikhala did not attend this press conference? Because according to the records that we have, he's the one who was supposed to address this press conference.
Yeah, the press conference on its own initially, it was going to be addressed by the friends of Jobscala, so probably there was a miscommunication.